Hello, welcome back to another episode, the 18th episode of the Aussie Footy Show presented by the PJ Show. Let's get it on the way. Well, thank you so much and welcome. This episode, I'll be sharing round 14 and result, and this is the third split we'll be doing. We will enter into round 15 on the fourth split round. Last episode on the Aussie Footy Show, unfortunately, I did not do the review of round 14, so that's what we are going to add in today's episode here on the Aussie Footy Show, the BJ Show Footy Show, as Aiden, your host of this show as well, do name that. So, what do you think of that show name? Like, do we think we should move it from Aussie Footy Show into the BJ Show Footy Show? But it means exactly the same thing. So, let's drive into it, and then we'll go into round 14 results and then round 15 previews. So, what we're doing right now into round 14 previews. So, let's get all covered now. That's what we have covered for today's episode. Let's drive into it for the third split round, and the teams are having a week off. It's Collingwood, Richmond, Sydney and Gold Coast. Enjoy your week off. Let's drive into this game, round 14, Thursday night footy at Marble Stadium West. St Kilda will be fresh, ready to go after the big win against Melbourne and at Alice Springs. And could they get another win after that win over Melbourne, or Western Bulldogs too good after their loss against Hawthorn? I'm going with Western Bulldogs with this game. Friday night footy, the game of the round, making this short and sweet. Hawthorn versus Adelaide at UTS Stadium, known for University of Tasmania Stadium, UTS. I'm going with Adelaide to take the win, and should be a good game as well. Super Saturday footy, we got 3 games to share. First game is that the Gada Brisbane hosting GWS Giants. I'm going with Brisbane to take this game. The Brisbane do play well at home. Second game, Essendon versus Geelong at the MCG. This should be a good game to watch. Geelong to take the win. Saturday night footy in Perth and Optus Stadium, North Melbourne. Another home game after their win over West Coast in Berlin in WA. They now host Fremantle at Optus Stadium. This should be another good game for Saturday night footy. Fremantle to take the win, even it's North Melbourne's home game. We come to the Super Sunday footy. We've got 2 more games to share. First up is the in Adelaide Oval, Port Adelaide hosting, and back after that, road win in Canberra, taking a week, now host the Demons, the Melbourne Demons, which in fact are good form. After that loss against St Kilda, then take on Collingwood, no, they'll be ready to go. 1 point loss there. Could they take this win? They've got to get back on the win list, and they'll be proof to do that. Final game in Perth for the second time, West Coast versus Carlton. Going with Carlton with the win. Alright, that is it for the results. Well, that's it to do with the previews of round 14. What a round of footy we had. Some big wins and big losses over the line. Let's get driving to now results. Here we go. Thursday night footy at Marble Stadium. Great crowd, 20,508 packed for St Kilda versus Western Bulldogs. Go head to head at Marble Stadium. Final score 20 goals, 12, 132, 8, 12, 60. Well, any favour St Kilda? I think the season is done and dust. Listen to what Aileen has to say about this game, because I think it's some really good facts. Yes, St Kilda had some momentum coming off with the fresh legs after their week off coming into the second half. I think the season is done. They need to find a way to win 4 quarters of football. They can do it. They did against Fremantle, St Kilda at Marble, but they do take on Collingwood. You never know what St Kilda can do. Should be a good game. And Western Bulldogs, well done on the win. They'll take on Richmond, make it short and sweet. Play of the game. That's it. Sean Darcy from the Western Bulldogs for 19 disposals, 9 marks, 4 tackles, 3 goals, 18 outs, 17 defensive half, 83 forward half, 1 goal assist, 9 score involvements, and a 304 metres game. Well done to Sean Darcy from the Western Bulldogs forward. And welcome back as well. Forward Friday night footy at UTS in Launceston for Hawthorn vs Adelaide go head to head. What in my thoughts of this was the game of the round? The crowd attendance was 15,129, which it's a good crowd at UTS. Backing and back scoring from the Adelaide Crows on a cold night in Launceston. And it was a slow start for both teams, which in fact I had an idea for that. What will happen? Final score was 6-11, 47-5, 14-44, 3-point victory went to the Hawthorn Hawks. Adelaide, and Hawthorn, they'll be taking go off, enjoy the week off, get back to training. All the best for the second half, where they will need to get back on the training, work on their goal kicking, and 1-7 in the half in the top 4. That's not an excuse, but it is what it is. Move on, enjoy the week off, and see you in the 2 weeks time. Adelaide will take on Richmond as well. And Hawthorn, good luck in wherever your team you verse in 2 weeks time. Player of the game, Dylan Moore from Hawthorn, include 23 disposals, 122 AFL fantasy, 3 marks, 13 marks, 46% defensive half, 54% forward half, 5 score involvements, and a 428 metres game. Well done, Dylan Moore from Hawthorn, star. Super Saturday footy, we got 3 games to share. First game is Brisbane and GWS, final score 17-5, 107 defeated, 13 goals, 1896. A big win for GWS. It's taking and finally they're back in the top 8. Defeated, well known for Brisbane. Big loss to Brisbane. They need to find a way. They're challenged to take on Geelong. They are in the top 4, but the GWS needed a win, and it knew they weren't easy. Also, the GWS Giants wanted that win. Accuracy wins football, and Brisbane need to work on their goal kicking to win games. But Brisbane will find ways to be in that game about 6%, even 70% if I'm lucky. But Geelong will share them very soon. But it will be a good entertainment game for Brisbane to go down to Geelong and hopefully Brisbane will win their Brisbane 60 football, but Geelong will be damn set. Making this short, Brisbane can't lose another game. They will lose their top 4 spot. And even after, is there a question on where Brisbane is coming in the second half? That's the big thing. Losing teams like and not even playing their best football, and then they come and win. That's just painful. But work what you need to do. Go to Geelong. Good luck. I know you're a good team, Brisbane. You'll stay focused, and I know the result will come. All right, GWS, well done. Big win at the Gullet in Brisbane against a team that could known us for 20 years still. When you do that, no one saw this coming. GWS wanted to win to show the competition that they are back in the hunt for the top 8. They want to be there and they want to play final. GWS will host Gold Coast Suns after their week off. They'll be ready, fresh legs, all that, and they'll be ready to go, and they'll be playing at ENGIE Stadium in the west of Sydney. Well, not much to say, but I'm going to go straight to the player of the game. JC Hogan from the GWS Giants forward include 116 AFL fantasy, 6 goals, 12 marks, 32% defensive half, 68% forward half, 10 score involvements, and a 422 metres game. Well done, JC Hogan, on your game performance from the GWS Giants forward star. We come to the second Saturday Super Football at the MCG with the good decent crowd, 61,408 pack for the Essendon take on Geelong. It was all sexy Geelong Cats. From the first quarter, song gone, it was all Geelong. And Essendon were tested as well. Essendon given all on the footy field at the MCG. Here is the final score, 23 goals, 13, 151, defeated 856. Not much to say, but Essendon will take on Fremantle on the west. Geelong will turn back at home. They'll train down at the gallery. It will be a good test for Essendon, but I've got to say, not much to say, but I'm going to share my play of the game, and that's Max Hines, 36 disposals, 1 goal, 131 AFL fantasy, 59% defensive half, 41% forward half, 1 goal assist, 7 scoring involvement, 871 metres game. Well done, Max Hines, on your game performance from the Geelong midfield star. All right, one game, Saturday night, and that is Super Football. We have the first out of two Optus Stadium doubleheader. North Melbourne take on Fremantle as the second home game in Perth for North Melbourne. What was a good game. Final score 10 goals, 13-73, 10-7-67. Well done to Fremantle holding on a big win, 6-point win at Optus Stadium in front of 31,408 fans. Knowing that Fremantle was on the road, this was a away win for them. North Melbourne heads up, bounce back, and back in Melbourne against Carlton, which will fact they'll enjoy this as well. Will be a good contest. We'll share them very, very soon. Who I think should win this game, but entertainment should be at 70,000 pack for the Carlton versus North Melbourne. Well, should be a good game. Fremantle, well done on the win, holding on. Will be in Perth. They'll host Essendon as well after their big road win against Gold Coast in the wet, having the bye. Road win against North Melbourne at Not Stadium, now taking on Essendon, will host on the Thursday night football, which will be a good game to watch. We come to the part of the game. Carlton Geelong from the Fremantle Star include 36 disposals, 2 marks, 10 tackles, 1 goal, 146 146 AFL Fantasy, 59% defensive half, 41% forward half, 6 score involvements, and a 585 metres game. Well done to Carlton Geelong on your game performance from the Fremantle midfield star. We got 2 more games to share for round 14. The first one we're going to share is Adelaide Oval. Well, what a game this was. Port Adelaide take on Melbourne Demon. 14 goals, 993 defeated, 9 goals, 1468. Well done, Port Adelaide on their first win for such a long time at the beginning of the season, which will put Adelaide back in the hunt of the finals. After they win in Canberra against the Giants, then now come and take on Melbourne as well. That week off really give them some confidence. That will help a lot. Melbourne is still a good team, but it's no excuse from that. After the week off, Melbourne will take on Gold Coast, which is in round 15. Really important. Port Adelaide host Sydney at home on a Saturday late afternoon, which will be a good game, and hoping another win by Port Adelaide. Player of the game is Colin Rosie, include 32 disposals, 5 marks, 4 tackles, 117 AFL Fantasy, 91% defensive half, 9% forward half, 4 score involvements, 776 metres game. Well done to Colin Rosie from the Port Adelaide captain star and on your game performance. Final game, second header for Not to Stay in Perth. West Coast hosts Carlton, making this short. Well done, Carlton. Big road win in Perth. No worries indeed. Final score, 14 goals. 12 goals, 1486. 7-10-52. Carlton had it all from the first bounce. And West Coast, not a loss. Not great, but they needed West Coast supporters keep coming out, and we'll see that team perform. 43,803, which is good. Which is great for West Coast supporters on the road or at home or away. It doesn't matter where. Support your team. They need it than ever. It helps a lot with the players to know you're there. Well, making this short and sweet, the player game is Adam Carl from Carlton. Midfield included 30 disposals, 9 marks, 5 tackles, 120 AFL Fantasy, 60% defensive half, 40% forward half. We have 2 goal assists, 3 score involvements, and 364 metres game. Well done, Adam Clow, on your game performance from Carlton midfield star. Round 14 results are done. It's now time to drive into round 15 previews. Who I think should win. Let's drive into round 15 for the 4th split round. Thursday night footy, Fremantle and Essendon go head to head. Should be a good game. And I'm going with Fremantle to win this game by 40 points, and Essendon will be in the game by 60% of the game. Baylor's Fremantle will take the final quarter and win. Friday night footy, Geelong take Brisbane at the GMHBA Stadium. Geelong, not too sure where Brisbane is, but Geelong, too good. 2 greatest football of all time. They'll play their sexy Geelong football. I'm going with Geelong at home which will be very, very clear, knowing that Geelong will train there on their oval and should be good entertainment of football. 3 games to share on Super Saturday Footy. Let's share the first game, Carlton and North Melbourne going head-to-head at the MCG. Carlton, I'll tip them clearly after their road win against the Eagles, West Coast Eagles, 3-2. Well, where's North Melbourne? Just didn't get the job done, but North Melbourne, I think they'll win being the game, but Carlton will just hold on a beauty. So I'm going 35 points to Carlton. North Melbourne, so close against Fremantle at Optus Stadium. North Melbourne will bounce back against Carlton and should be a good game too. We come to the second Super Saturday Footy with Port Adelaide take on Sydney, which will be a good game. Not sure where both teams are on the ladder, but I'm going with Port Adelaide with 20 points on the board, with Port Adelaide having playing some good football in the last few weeks, including that bye. Really will see where they are. Should be an interesting game to watch. And the third and final game for Super Saturday Footy at Marble Stadium will be Collingwood St Kilda. Not much day, making this short. 45 points, even more maybe, where Collingwood see their talent on the footy field at Marble. They will be playing September with St Kilda. Look, it is a team that they don't know where they are. They need to find some talent and they need to do against a good team like Collingwood, and it will be a good contest as well at Marble Stadium. Both teams will be versing each other. Wow, the last 2 games were previews. GWS Giants, Gold Coast Suns got head-to-head. GWS Giants will have some big confidence on the road in Brisbane at the Gutter against the Premiers in front of 30,000 people. They're now back at home, Giants. Gold Coast will be ready to go. I'm tipping them to win by 22 points and should be a good game as well. Here we go. The final game for the 4th split round. We have returned back at Marble for the second time for round 15. Western Bulldogs take on Richmond. Richmond will take off that bye and ready to go for having a big second half and see what they can do in this rebuilding season. But Western Bulldogs will take the win. They will win by 8 goals. And Richmond will be in the game about 40% of the game as well. Alright, that is all we have for you today's episode on Aussie Footy Show, 18th episode, the BJ Show, Footy Show. Stay tuned for Aiden's results for round 14 and preview for round 15. Also, for the Aussie Footy Show Extra SNFL, the International Agenda, and many more. Maybe a special edition of the mid-season for the SNFL and the AFL. So stay tuned for all that. That's already out for the Aidens as well. So go and check that out. We have a special guest already out. So check that out. More guests here on the BJ Show is coming soon. So stay tuned for that. So, alright. Thanks for listening. The BJ Show is out. Bye for now. Cheers.